So much has been said lately about the retail apocalypse, with articles divulging that we have come to an end of retail that we know. This might be the truth, as things have been changing rapidly in the past years. McKinsey's January 2019 report states that by 2010, FMCG had created 23 of the world's top 100 brands and had grown total returns to shareholders of almost 15% a year for 40 years. The truth is that now we are in a multi-channel era, a time when integration across web, social, and brick and mortar is crucial for success. Ultimately, the real winners will be those retailers who know how to integrate e-commerce and retail, like Amazon. What's the DNA for success in today's disrupted retail environment? What was the historic value creator for FMCG companies that made them so big and so powerful over the years? At what point have they gotten organic growth out of their sight? And most importantly, how to get back on the track? Those and similar questions will be the topic of our webinar today. We will discuss FMCG business from the perspective of artificial intelligence. And my collocutors are Serengeti strategic business partners in artificial intelligence projects. Ante Križanović, Chief Technology Officer at our partner Aether Signum, and Domagoj Boršić, our partner and CEO at RedAI, the artificial intelligence application. My name is Ana Milas, and I'm the head of marketing at Serengeti, and I wish you a warm welcome to our webinar. We'll open our conversation with Domagoj, whose professional development started in one of the FMCG biggest brands in the world, Coca-Cola. After Coca-Cola, Domagoj moved to telco industry. Guess he was destined to end up in a high-tech industry, retrofitting his professional profile and taking some strategic leap forward to where he is today, a founder of RedAI. We could say that RedAI is an offspring of years of experience in FMCG and high technology. Recently, we partnered with RedAI, opening a new path for Serengeti, the one in the endless fields of wobblers, discount coupons, bundles, and promotions, which is, of course, retail. Serengeti and RedAI are hereby working towards the same goal, bringing RedAI out to the world of retail. In the meantime, working on refinements, listening, and monitoring the marketing trends. Domagoj, what was the why behind RedAI? What made you think of an app that's today a RedAI?
Well, actually, everything started on one telco conference in Vienna. It was almost 3 years ago, where there was a panel discussion, and one of the panelists presented the ability at that time of the artificial intelligence in a way that he took a photo of a chair or of a table, of a glass, and the AI application behind it recognized it was a chair, it was a table, it was a glass, or it was a bottle. And afterwards I started thinking, okay, if there is an ability to recognize that this is a chair, a glass, or a table, can you recognize and classify that this is a Coca-Cola bottle 0.33
right,
or a Heineken 0.33? Because I knew that it would be a major breakthrough for the FMCG industry. As I think most of the people know that in retail, the retailers, such as Walmart, Tesco, Spar, etc., they are leasing the shelves with specific segments. So,
exactly.
So if you see a beer section with various types of beers and producers, you don't see for no reason that Heineken has 15 facings on the shelf, or on the soda section that Coca-Cola has 20 faces on the section. Why? Because they are paying to the retailer for additional shelf share.
Okay.
And of course, what are they're paying, let's say for 30, 20, maybe 50% of the share of the specific segment. And often what they pay is not what they get. And the way that they are controlling it before the RedAI app was manually. So we called it human vision. And it took 15 to 20 minutes to calculate. It was not precise. And of course it was manual entry.
So we're talking, sorry to interrupt, we're talking about sales representatives, merchandisers going into the store, manually counting how many bottles of Coca-Cola you have. Okay, great.
Yes. So it took time, it wasn't precise, and the data behind it wasn't consistent because he manually entered, okay, I think we are on 40%. But they didn't have the proof, you know, they just had the manual entry. So this is why I came to the idea if there is a possibility to develop an app who could recognize that this is Coca-Cola point 33 or Heineken point 33, that it would be a major must-have application for the FMCG industry, especially for the big players, because now in less than 2 minutes from starting taking a photo to the reporting, he has everything. You know, he can monitor not only himself but the competition. He has integrated data behind it, and of course it increases the productivity of the company, because if it took 15 to 20 minutes prior to that time to analyze and put the data in a CRM or whatever, if you decrease it to less than 2 minutes. So it's a major increase for the productivity of the company and of the sales rep. So basically they can cover more, right? Yes. You can cover more. Unfortunately, of course, you could also have a layoff of people behind it, but you know, technology is always have been moving in that way, in that direction. But I think most of the companies will not enter into the layoffs. Maybe now because of the corona, it will be, let's say, a slight forward towards that direction, but I think in the end everything will level up, you know.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So basically, what you get, what the major benefit would be for RedAI is you save time. So if you have one sales representative covering, let's say, 30 stores in Zagreb area, he can pretty much go from like, let's say, 6 stores a day to like 12, let's say.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, so we actually always pitch the savings calculation for the company. And I think in every case it was the return of investment, ROI, was always less than 12 months, so less than a year.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, so because of the increasement of the productivity and the cost savings, so the mathematics is clear. How will they invest that ROI? It's up to the company. We can make suggestions, but although FMCG company is FMCG industry as such is more or less the same, but it has varies around the world. So what is good for Heineken in Croatia doesn't mean it's good solution for Heineken in Romania. It can be a different specification.
So basically, once you, for example, I'm the customer, I get the app. What you do is that you customize the solution for my needs, right?
Yes.
So whether I have, let's say, 5 categories, 150 SKUs per category, you can customize it.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
Okay. And then my needs, let's say I have certain shelf shares that I agreed with the retailer.
You contradict, yeah, okay.
Oh, I can check it?
Yes.
Okay, okay. So what if in the case that, let's say we have a shelf share of my product, which is, let's say, a pillow. I have pillows.
Okay.
And I find that I agree with the retailer that my shelf share is going to be 50%. And I get to the store and I'm checking out and okay, it's not 50%, it's less than 50%. But then I see the empty space right next to my pillows. Can you see whether that space is meant for my pillows or if it's for something else?
Yes, but not from the first photo.
Okay.
But from the historical photos and data, yes, we can also trigger that towards the client.
Okay.
But of course, it can be either your space or the competition space.
Right.
But I think the most important thing that for the retailer, it's the weakest point if they have a blind spot on the shelf. So if there is no product to sell.
Yeah, but then you know what the retailers, I mean, we've both been in the FMCG for years. What they're going to do, they're going to put the product, whichever, so it's not empty.
Yes.
All they care about is sales.
Yes.
So something needs to sell.
Yes.
So
yes.
how do we prevent ourselves? I know from the standpoint of P&G is where I started my career, you know that. And we had the abbreviation that said FMOT. It was the first moment of truth. So once you get to the store, you need to, the customer, the consumer needs to sense what we wanted to, the communication that we wanted to send. So what happens then if, let's say, we have our product and then you have the space which is filled with something else? Can the app recognize this?
Yes, it will be. It will be classified as an opportunity for the client.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Excellent.
So maybe you could increase the shelf share from 50% to 55%.
Okay.
Or maybe put some new products on the shelf,
Exactly.
and in that way to increase and to extend the shelf share. So it's up to the client, but for the first time they have all the necessary data and the information. And it's up to those guys in the analytics department, the sales department, marketing department to came up to an idea. Now that they have the data, how to make a leap forward on the shelf.
Exactly.
Yeah. So it's up to them.
And one thing that I would say that a company, whichever P&G, Heineken, whichever company in FMCG, would probably be interested in is nobody wants to walk the walk anymore. Everybody wants to fly, everybody wants the results immediately. So what about let's say calculating the shelf share and then maybe comparing it to, I don't know, category by category, you know what I mean?
Yes, yes.
Shelf share within the category. Can you do that?
Yes.
Is it okay?
It can also monitor the planogram compliance.
Oh,
It can monitor the number of facings of a specific product of the of the company. So basically, whatever can be detected and classified, it will be sent as an information towards the client.
Excellent.
Yeah. So in that way, yes, of course, it's up to the client to have a precise information towards us also.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, but
right.
Sometimes it's not the case.
It's a two-way communication, right?
Yeah, it's good communication, but whatever can be detected and classified, it could be provided as an information towards the client.
So when it comes to artificial intelligence, when we talk about artificial intelligence, I guess nowadays it's all over the place. So everywhere you look, there is artificial intelligence. Ante, what would you say, how did the process of your knowledge of machine working apply to this whole idea? How did that work? What was you could tell us about the steps you made to create the application. So that would be interesting.
Well, everybody who has ever done any work in machine learning or artificial intelligence will tell you it's all about the data.
Okay.
You have to have the data in order to do something with it. So the biggest challenge so far and in the future will be gathering and processing the data. We have all the models in place, we know how to work the data, but the most difficult part is gathering and processing the data.
Okay.
So in the beginning, you have this huge period of uncertainty where you are uncertain if you will be able to meet the customer's demands in regards to precision of the classification of the SKUs on the shelves. But once you jump over that hurdle, you can actually with confidence move forward. So what we do now, we just gather all the data that we can and we process it. And we are building a huge information database of all the products of all our clients of the competition, which we can then analyze and serve as some kind of actionable information.
For impeccable execution, there are many factors that we need to pay attention to. I read McKinsey report that Domagoj shared with me, and a very interesting thing is that the old value creation model for FMCG companies dates from, World War II. And it perfectly worked, sailed through all storms safely because it was just that perfect. The old model consists of 5 steps: mass market, brand building, and excellence in the developed market base, which means constant focus on innovation that generated incrementality. Hunting in developing markets. FMCG companies like to place their flag on yet undiscovered grounds by bringing the best technologies to a new market early so that they can ensure local relevance. In the period of 2007 to 2017, 75% of revenue growth of FMCG was from developing markets. Good relationships with grocers that provide access to consumers, innovation plus excellence at an in-store execution served on the bed of broad distribution has been a best-case scenario since. Operating model that drives consistent execution and cost reduction. Centralization processes have helped streamline costs, whilst the general expenses are usually 4 to 6% of revenue in FMCG. Mergers and acquisitions as a stable ground for organic growth. FMCG companies practiced upgrading of their portfolios with new brands, which then they blended within their distribution and business practices that will grow those brands and categories. However, they reached an era that screams disruptive. We see that millennials are getting their voice out, and small brands are taking their portion of market. For example, I haven't seen so many beer labels ever on retail shelves. Then there is this healthy craze with everyone eating chia seed, quinoa, and wearing vegan clothes. And then there is Amazon, and Alexa, and Amazon Go, and Amazon M&As. Because being online is a must, but covering brick and mortar is a must plus. What we see is that technology is on the radar even more than ever. Everything is technology, for end users and for B2B. Going back to our story, Domagoj, how do you see the confluence of technology and FMCG?
Well, regarding the RedAI solution, the sales reps, so from the user side, now he can do more in less time, which is always a great feature for the users. But I think the most valuable resource in every segment of life, not just business, is information. And the RedAI enables more precise and technical information for the companies. So it generates the possibility for the company to generate even more comprehensive business plans, forecasting, new SKU launches, new direction maybe for the company. Now they can track what the competition is doing on the market, but not just on let's say creation market, but on a region segment or on a specific store. So, for instance, what is good for planogram compliance in Spar in Pantovčak, it's a part of Zagreb which is uphill, where there is, let's say, the consumers are mid-class or upper class. So in that store, the brands that are sold are with much more high revenue value. But what is good there, it doesn't mean it has to be copy-paste in Spar in, let's say, Novi Zagreb. Where it's middle class or lower class consumers. So now they can really point to the store what has to be done, because they have information behind.
So like, let's say somebody that's a marketing strategy planning manager or a key account or whoever can see what's going on the top level and then see the layers. Let's say they can see each store per se.
So the analytic capability now it's increased in so many ways for the companies, And I think that will be the, let's say, the next rush in hiring people.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. It's all about the data.
It's all about the data, like Ante stated before, but not just for the client, but also for us and for the RedAI as application.
Introducing RedAI, a single solution for retail or HoReCa suppliers. RedAI enables full automation of the never-ending market shelf battle where companies spend nearly 260 billion euros globally. Better shelf positions can have immense commercial benefit. It gives you a push in marketing value and therefore generates additional income, allowing companies to keep growing and remain competitive. But do companies understand how their investment is being monetized? Do they really know what's happening in every store? What kind of feedback do they rely on? How do they measure their bot market share space or planogram compliance? All of the above are prone to human error, but RedAI offers the solution and peace of mind from all these problems. So how does it work? A sales rep comes to a point of sale or POS. For example, a bar with a refrigerator or a retail store storing your products on shelves. Now, using the RedAI app with a tablet or mobile device, your sales rep can take a photo of your refrigerators or shelves and upload it to a special repository. The app also guides the user on how to take photos of larger format shelves in order to create a panorama view of the shelf and the products placed on it. This simple process is the same with any additional shelf exposure inside retail and HoReCa points of sale. Now we come to the most important part of our solution. The RedAI Artificial Intelligence Neural Network scans the photo based on brand and packaging, or SKU. It detects, classifies, and delivers a complete analysis of your total market share per category, packaging, planogram compliance, and the KPI metrics that you prioritize as your sales and marketing goals. If you want full insights on your target market, the RedAI Artificial Intelligence Neural Network, accompanied with our Business Intelligence Report, can provide you with a detailed analysis of your key competitors, their market share in every point of sale channel, a new SKU launch, additional shelf exposure investment, and other critical information that can help you modify your business strategy, provide additional investment opportunities, and enhance profit forecasting. So what do you get? Complete data integration with no risk of human error, and a detailed analysis for every sales channel. Let's take a look at an example. Take a retail channel in Austria, which has around 3,340 stores nationwide. By defining your new KPI for every sales rep on his route, and by increasing volume transaction value for only €5 per location on a daily basis, you'll get an annual revenue increase of over €4 million. RedAI can also correlate with other systems reports, such as SAP, Salesforce, Oracle, IBM, and many more. For example, the system can track if a certain point of sale hasn't ordered any product for the week, while 2 shelves are empty or contain the competition. This is where RedAI comes into play. It stores all the necessary data to a relational database management system. Then, the processing layer manages photo documentation and usage rights. The core of this layer is the Artificial Intelligence Neural Network system, which teaches the app to recognize and manage photo documentation and detects, classifies, and delivers fully automated data. To fit any user, the app also has plugins that integrate to your existing business processes or third-party systems. RedAI is the complete digitization of your assets while optimizing expenses and increasing income. A win-win solution in a powerful and user-friendly app.
Ante, we're talking about the data and all this. What we talk about is more of the facing of the application. But what's going on inside? What are the biggest challenges nowadays when developing the artificial intelligence app?
Well, one of the biggest challenges is to avoid going where everybody else is going. Mm-hmm. There are a lot of big AI players, global, Google, Microsoft, Amazon.
Right, yeah.
And they cover a broad spectrum of AI capabilities. But our clients, from our experience, always need something more. Mm-hmm. They are not satisfied with, boilerplate solution. They need custom solution to fit their needs. Mm-hmm. They want to optimize their business process, not a business process.
Exactly,
yeah.
Right.
So the challenge is to find a niche where you can develop yourself. That is, and avoid competing with the big guys.
Yeah, because you can't really compete.
You can't really compete. You can't really compete.
Right.
But as a small company, you can move fast. You can move faster than them. You can identify opportunities. You can jump in without giving it a second thought.
So you can be more
flexible,
and
agile.
Yeah. Because there is not so much complexity behind that you need to monitor.
And the second thing that's really hard is keeping yourself at the top of the game, because it's a really popular scientific area, artificial intelligence. And there is a lot of work done in the scientific community, and you need to read it. You need to be up to date. You need to be, as we call it, on the bleeding edge. What's published today, you have to read it tomorrow.
So you have to educate yourself day in, day out.
Constantly, yeah.
Yeah.
And you have to be really aggressive in regards to that, meaning even put the education above some business opportunities. Just make it a top priority to be on top of your game.
Thank you, Ante. Thank you.
Yeah, because the AI can apply in various fields of life.
Yeah.
Of course, but it's pretty hard to see where it could be commercially exploited, beneficial for the producers.
It's inescapable for FMCG to have machine learning in their day-to-day business. It's interesting for marketers to work on reaching the mainstream consumers with disruptive products. Moreover, going back to that McKinsey report, what they talk about is digital intimacy, or we can freely translate it to artificial intelligence. Or, putting it into plain words, capturing data and using it for better decision making among all those disruptive factors. To succeed in a market that has never been more competitive, a retailer will need access to privileged insights. Will have to be able to automate processes and to create impeccable customer experience. Traditional FMCG value creation model needs to freshen up. McKinsey presented a new value creation model as a three-part portfolio strategy enabled by an agile operating model. Three-part portfolio strategy includes excellence in the developed market, leapfrogging in developed markets, hot housing premium niche, scaling each to its greatest potential. Agile organizations shall still rely on M&As as an accelerator, but before anything, it should have a strong digital and IT capability. Thank you for taking your time and watching our webinar on machine learning in retail industry. It was our pleasure. I invite you to visit our website at www.serengetitech.com for more information. And yes, please follow us on LinkedIn, Facebook, Sing, Instagram. We always have some interesting stuff to share.